The Light Between Seasons. In a quiet town nestled between golden hills and sleepy rivers, there lived a girl named Alara, who believed in the magic of books more than people. Her days passed in the local library, dusting off forgotten pages and sipping jasmine tea as she read stories of faraway kingdoms and timeless love. One stormy autumn evening, as amber leaves danced wildly in the wind, a stranger entered the library. His name was Adrian, a traveling photographer with eyes like twilight and a smile that carried the warmth of distant suns. He was seeking shelter, but instead found Alara, tucked between shelves, humming softly to herself. Their first conversation was about poetry. "Do you believe words can save a soul?" he asked, brushing raindrops from his coat. "I believe they can carry it," she replied, "even when the body cannot." From that day on, Adrian returned to the library every evening. Sometimes he brought photographs of places he had seen. Misty mountains, silent lakes, bustling cities where no one knew his name. Alara showed him her favorite books, and in turn, he captured her in the golden light of the setting sun, reading, smiling, dreaming. Winter arrived like a soft sigh, blanketing the town in snow. One evening, under the glow of the library's old chandelier, Adrian took Alara's hand and whispered, "I think I've been searching for you in every city I visited. I just didn't know it until now." Alara, who had always been cautious with her heart, felt something melt inside her. It was as if every love story she had ever read was now breathing through her own veins. They spent that winter together, ice skating on frozen lakes, building snowmen like children, and falling asleep by the fireplace wrapped in blankets and books. But spring brought change. Adrian received an offer to photograph a rare eclipse in Iceland, an opportunity of a lifetime. "I want you to come with me," he said, eyes pleading. Alara hesitated. Her roots were deep. The library was her sanctuary, her world. "What if I lose myself?" she asked. "What if you find a new part of yourself?" he replied gently. In the end, Alara chose love. She closed the doors of the library one final time, not in sorrow but with a quiet promise to return. Together, they traveled the world, collecting memories like photographs, words like wildflowers. Years later, they came back to the little town. Adrian opened a gallery beside the library, and Alara became its curator. The walls held both pictures and poems, frozen moments, and fleeting emotions. Their story, once scattered across seasons and cities, had finally found its home. And every evening, as the sun dipped below the hills, Adrian would take Alara's hand, now touched by time, and whisper, "I would still find you, in every lifetime." And Alara, with tears of joy in her eyes, would reply, "And I would still choose you." Beneath the Willow Tree. It was early spring when Emma returned to her childhood town of Elmridge, a quiet village nestled between misty hills and winding rivers. After years of living in the city, chasing a fast-paced career in marketing, she longed for the warmth and stillness of home. The town hadn't changed much. The same cobblestone streets, the scent of wildflowers, the laughter of children echoing in the afternoon sun. What she didn't expect, however, was to run into Liam, the boy she once loved, the one who had promised to meet her under the willow tree the night she left town and never showed up. He was there, standing behind the counter of the town's only bookstore, Whispers and Pages. Time had changed him. He was broader in the shoulders, a bit taller, his once unruly hair now slightly tamed. But the same spark lived in his eyes. "Emma," he said, as if her name was a song he hadn't heard in years. "Liam," she replied, unsure whether to smile or cry. Their conversation was polite at first, marked by the awkwardness of old wounds. But fate has a strange way of making things right. Emma found herself visiting the bookstore more often, sometimes for books, sometimes just to see him. And Liam, shyly, began to open up again. One rainy afternoon, he handed her a worn copy of Wuthering Heights. Inside was a note written in his handwriting. "I waited under the willow tree that night. I stayed until sunrise. I guess you never got my letter. But I never stopped thinking about you." Her heart ached. She realized then that the past had only been a misunderstanding. The next day, she stood under the willow tree by the lake, their place. It was exactly as she remembered, the long, sweeping branches, the way the wind carried the scent of lilacs, the soft rustle of leaves like whispers. Liam appeared, holding an umbrella. "You came," he said. "I never stopped waiting," she replied softly. That moment, beneath the willow, time folded in on itself. The years of silence, of missed chances, all faded. He reached for her hand, and she didn't pull away. Weeks turned to months. Emma extended her stay. They rebuilt what was once lost, this time slowly, with no pressure. They went on long walks, shared stories of their lost years, and found comfort in one another's presence. One summer evening, while the fireflies danced and the stars bloomed above, Liam proposed beneath the same willow tree. With a trembling smile, Emma whispered, "Yes." Years later, the townspeople still speak of their love, of two hearts reunited not by chance, but by the quiet, persistent pull of destiny.